First thing I said, I texted my friend group, you're just forced to grow up. And I was just doing whatever I could. So I was taking over my mom's job. Bro, I was trying to do anything. I was trying to sell shoes, even fake shoes. I didn't care what I was doing. When you collect all the pennies, I had to, bro. And I did construction. I did flooring at some point. I've done restaurants, a lot of restaurants. I hated it, but
if school doesn't teach you how to fail, that's exactly what happens in life. How do you really handle the failures?
If you mess up, you know you're not gonna do that again.
You know why it's more difficult though when you're working with a person is you mess up their hair. Like us, you mess a car up. You know what I mean? Cars is a car.
Okay.
But
like,
you can give them a nice car,
bro.
When I was there in your apartment and I saw boys there, those are like family, bro.
Woke up and I was like, I want to go for a run. I'm like, does anyone want to come for a run? I will pick you up. I think that's being a leader. You know, that's being that person that really pushes everyone else. It went from go to this place to get drunk and party to let's go for a run. You know?
So the last question is, what is the biggest issue we face as a society? How can we work to solve it?
Can you repeat the question again?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Bros Think Big. We have a special episode for you guys and a special guest, Rios. Welcome, bro.
Appreciate you
How
guys
you doing?
for having me, bro. Appreciate that.
Thank you for coming. First of all, I just want to kind of introduce Rios as our very close friend who we know from high school. And you're very inspirational, dude. I've been seeing your stuff on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. It is really just giving me a motivation to keep going and stuff as an entrepreneur because I know what it takes to be on that journey. So I want to give you your flowers right off the bat. Kind of tell us how you found being a barber as a career. Was that always a thing or just something that came to you naturally?
Nah, bro. Nah, it was actually thanks to a friend. I also gotta give him his flowers. We actually went to high school with him.
Yeah. Ken, right?
Actually, no.
Somebody else?
No, Edmund. His name is Edmund.
Edmund. Yeah, I know Edmund.
So we played with him and all.
Played soccer together, Soccer, yeah.
So he, it was Christmas. He decided to give me a gift card of $100, and he recommended me. He said, you should try it out. Just give it a try. Give it a shot. See what happens. And he cuts for fun. He doesn't cut for money, for anything. He just cuts friends.
Yeah.
And I tried it out.
Still does?
Still does, yeah. As far as I know, he still does.
Yeah.
I tried it out. The first thing I said, I texted my friend group chat. It's like, hey, like I'm about to start this journey. I don't know if it's gonna work out. He's also a witness. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but does anyone want me to cut them? It was scary at first. Obviously, for everyone, it's scary.
Because
it's
they gotta trust you to cut
That's
the
your
hair.
confidence, man. Like I don't know. So I was like, it meant a lot. It meant a lot at the time. And then that's how it started. It started messing up.
Did a lot of your friends trust you with it?
They did.
What was it like? Yeah,
they did. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy journey. Just like when I look back at it, it's like wow, like we're all the way here right now.
Yeah.
And
how long has this been? What, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. Last month, it made 2 years. Yeah.
When did you have an idea to make it a business already?
So it was a hobby at first. Yeah. I gotta admit it. I didn't see it as money. I saw it as a side hustle. You know, I was never looking at it in a.
Just like
I was never looking at the bigger picture. Yeah. So I was giving it a try, and I realized that I always had the artistic side on me.
Yeah, for sure.
So
we know that from soccer.
Yeah, and I like drawing. I like doing a few things here and there.
Because when you can work with your hands, that type of stuff comes in handy. And it, like I said, when I see you do the work and stuff, you develop this skill. But at the same time, it's like you can just kind of naturally do it. You know what I mean? You do it very smooth and very comfortable with it. Not everybody can do that. Yeah. So it's like when you find that passion, because a lot of people have trouble with it. I think it's also because people don't even know where to look for their career and stuff. But at the same time, people are afraid of taking risks, which we will also get to. Because starting a business itself is a risk. It's like you're putting, especially when you're not going to college and stuff, is you're just relied on yourself pretty much. You don't do, if you don't do anything, you're gonna be nothing in this life. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to, and it's a big step.
Yeah, bro. It's it was really hard because as an immigrant as well.
Yeah.
I only had my mom as, you know, so I know the college option wasn't a thing. It was not for me. And I was never
it was the
really,
money side as well
it
as
was money side as well as me being lazy for school.
Right.
I was never
School
really the
wasn't
guy
your
for
thing,
school. Yeah,
Dude,
never.
neither for us. All three of us here.
Yeah,
just high school degrees. Nothing.
It's
Nothing
okay.
else.
It's totally okay. And then it started by breakthroughs. Like you slowly start to realize, oh, like I'm pretty good. Like like
I can make something work.
I can do. And then the compliments and the support by others, and then the day I ran into Ken was the day I was like, I should go a little more, a little farther. And it was funny.
Go ahead.
It was funny because I ran into him in the street.
Yeah.
Randomly on a random day, random night. I was picking up my girl at the time.
Yeah.
I was picking her up from work, and I randomly just see him, and I'm like, wow, it's a little weird. And he noticed. He was like, I seen you been cutting. Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's crazy.
And you guys have a whole history too from high school and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I remember you guys didn't
like each other. We didn't like each other. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we didn't like each other. High school stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But then when it came down to doing business, we realized...
He went to Washington?
Nah, he didn't. He went to a different school. But through other people, we had what's so-called beef.
Yeah.
And when we got into like doing business together, we actually thought the best way to do it. We already seen the worst side of each other.
Yeah.
So now when we look at it, we're like, we can fight. We have arguments all the time.
Yeah.
Like we can... But
healthy disagreements.
But after that we'll go get tacos or something.
Right.
Like it's not, you know, like when you put your ego aside as a man, you know, like it's hard for people, but if you know yourself, if you just work on that, yes.
I want to definitely get to that part too, because when I was also speaking to you about my business and stuff, the advice you were giving me, that was the big one, is pride. A lot of people go into business, and when they see little bit of something in their business, it's going good. Yeah, bro. It's pride, bro. Pride hits in, especially when something happens fast in your way. They are, I guess, understanding that the money's coming in, and they think, oh wow, this is how it's gonna be. If anything, it's gonna get better. But you don't really know that it's actually gonna go down, and you're gonna have your bad seasons. So you can never let that pride take over, because then you're not developing as much as you're supposed to be. So I learned that big lesson from you, actually, when you were telling me that. It really made me think that I need to be humble, because at the time your business was doing so much better than mine. Even though they're two different businesses, yours was doing so much better. So it's like when you see this type of stuff going around you, you have to understand that even if you might think that you're good at something, there's always somebody that's better. So when you have that in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about constantly growing and becoming better version of yourself.
Yeah, and that's when it becomes, to me, it was more like at least where my mentality stands now, it's like, you can't beat me because it's me against me. Yeah. There's nothing other than that. Like, it's me against the higher me.
Right. I'm already... Like that potential.
Like, I'm already, in 10 years, I already see myself winning. But it's about what I do today.
Yeah. And did you always have that positive outlook on...
No.
Yourself and the self-confidence?
Nah. It went through a lot of tribulations, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of doubt, bro. Yeah. You know, if you guys are all in this, you guys know that there's doubt every time. Sure. Every single time you're like, wow, like, is this week going to be good? This week can be trash, and it can be great. It can be the best week of your life the next week. Yeah. So it's hard. It's really hard.
It's a lot of ups and downs, and you got to know how to battle with that and how to be good at coming back from failures. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because failures happen regardless. What would you say when you faced your biggest failure in terms of business?
What would I say? Wait, what was the question?
What would you say is like one of the biggest failures that you have faced so far in your business? Whenever you start.
Can you move it just a little bit back? I mean, like away from you?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So this one's more personal. But I'm gonna be an open book. My mom had cancer, right? Oh. And at the time that she had cancer, I was starting to do this, so it was hard to manage one thing and the other, right? And it was like I'm starting a business, and my mom is sick, and it's like, who takes care of the rent? And if you
don't do well.
Nah, if you're a man, you know, I'm not saying everyone has to go through the struggle to learn, but it's different for everyone. You know, sometimes you have to grow up, and you're just forced to grow up. So it was around those times where it was like I had to. It was a must. Like I had to thug it out, you know, make it out somehow, one way or the other. And I was just doing whatever I could to just.
What did a day in your life look like at the time of hustling like that to really, you know, keep the rent and make sure that you're not giving up on the business as well as the money coming in?
So I was taking over my mom's job slightly. Like I was going here and there. Bro, I was trying to do anything. I was trying to sell shoes, even fake shoes. I didn't care what I was doing. I was switching out them. You know, when you collect all the pennies?
Yeah.
I had to, bro. It was what I had to do. Any job that could come by.
That.
Yeah, every job. Demolition. I did construction at some points. I did flooring at some points. I've done restaurants, a lot of restaurants. I hated it, but I mean,
and how long did this last?
A few months.
Yeah,
not forever. It wasn't
like a
very long time. But and also again, the girl I had at the time helped me out with all this as well. So
that's good. Yeah, having somebody by your side, especially in those tough times, is always a very, very positive thing.
Yeah, man.
And I think when you said, I don't think like you need to go through struggle. At the same time, though, as men, we personally always advise on men going through struggles.
Yeah.
I feel like
me too.
For sure. I feel like if you don't, I guess, accept struggles in your life, one way or another, life will throw that curveball at you at some point.
So
it's better to be prepared.
There's this quote that I read not so long ago from this guy I watch every morning, and it went something like, "Life is happening to you, not for you." And if you really, really think about it, like just take a second to really let that question sink in, and you're like, wow, like life is happening. Life is not for me, you know, like nothing's just.
Wait, I remember that quote's the other way around. Wait, can you look at it?
Yeah, or the other way around. I don't remember,
yeah. Life's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's.
But the other way also makes sense.
The other way, yeah. So, yeah, bro, it's crazy. When you start taking it a little more serious, it gets.
For sure. And that's when your character is developed the most, is through those struggles. Mm-hmm. Because one, you unlock your potential. You also learn about this side of you that you probably never thought existed, like in terms of drive. Yeah. Just the fact that you're capable of doing the things that you never thought you were capable of. Mm-hmm. But if you don't respond to those challenges and you just kind of shy away from it, you're never going to discover that potential, which a lot of people have trouble with. That's why when it comes to starting a business or doing things that is going outside of societal norms and what even your parents tell you to do for your future, or like people around you telling you, I think this is what you should do, and you never listen to what you want, I think that can take you away from being the best version of yourself. Because now you're letting other people determine your life rather than you wanting to know what is best for you. So did you ever have that type of moment where you had to go through those doubts? Maybe it was from an external source?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like I said, it was just some moments of weakness, some moments that you were mentally just not prepared to take a hit or a financial hit or anything at all. Like you were just not ready for it. But obviously it's not like life is going to be like, hey, hold up, so this is going to happen, so be ready.
Right. It just comes at you and you have to be prepared for that. But sometimes you can't really prepare yourself for those type of moments. You just learn through the process. But I don't know. I'm just circling back to the doubtful moments because I think that is really big in business or in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you guys have any questions about that?
When you were in that process, like before, like the time with like your mom, and like, was there a time like before you were paying for rent, like, and you were almost like complacent in a way, or some? Well, if like, there was a time like before you went through all that struggle that like you were kind of just like the opposite of what you were doing before, like working hard. Like, was there a point where you were just like going through the motions?
I was just lazy, bro. I was so lazy. I was so lazy.
And what was the wake up call to kind of like get out of that?
It was just the pattern that it was so continuous. It was like I used to wake up, for example, let's say I had an appointment at 8 a.m. I used to wake up like at 7:30, bro. 7:30 and cut them. And maybe even if I had time, go back to sleep. So it was like, damn, like, and I didn't have that drive in me that said, yo, let's get it. Like nowadays, I'll probably wake up and do a bunch of things in the morning and then go to work.
Right.
So try to make it as most productive as I can.
For sure. And I think we talk about this a lot too, habits. When you, in the book that you gave me, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
When I read that, because you read it before you gave it to me. And that book helped me out a lot to understand the importance of small habits.
Yeah, bro.
That book doesn't just talk about, okay, do a habit and then you will develop into a character. No, it talks about the specifics of the small habits that can make a change. And it's focused on the long-term effect rather than what you can do in a small effect, which, like I said, even in gym, even in business, even in everyday life, people underestimate what they can do in a year and overestimate what they can do, or they overestimate what they can do in a couple of years.
Yeah, bro.
And they underestimate what they can do.
It's so much potential in people.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
For sure.
It's so crazy.
And why do you think people have a hard time, I guess, unlocking that potential in them?
I think it's just them loving themselves in a way. Like,
Yeah.
it's so crazy how you have so much power in your mind and anything, and you can use anything as fuel, any religion as fuel as well. You can have God with you. You can meditate. You can do. There's so many tools that you can go with along with this, but I think it's about just finding that dog in you as well. Like, for example, now I'm gonna just put an example out there, but let's say this season the Eagles, right? We're doing trash, but then and everyone used to ask me, I'm sorry because you guys lost, okay. But everyone used to ask me, they're like, oh, they're gonna lose or they're going down. But I'm like, to be honest, bro, like I play sports and I felt that thirst to like win. And I'm like looking at them and I was like, nah, they're winning, bro. There's no way. Like hungry dogs run faster all day, every day.
Right. Especially when they have lost the Super Bowl
exactly.
already.
So I was like, I had no doubt in my mind that how that game was gonna go. And everyone was like, oh no, it's 50-50. I'm like, no way.
You know what's another thing I want to circle back to is sports. I'm glad you mentioned that because me and Georgie playing sports as well as Mike but me and Georgie just did it for a longer time. And understanding the mindset you develop when you play sports, especially as a young person, it helps you out in life so much because you go into things with such different perspective than you would when you don't play sports. One, you don't know how to.
You're used to the failures, the winnings, and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of
the pressure,
balance it out.
So, would you say sport was a huge factor?
Big
in like your drive and stuff.
Big. Any sport as well. Like I've done soccer. I've done whatever I've played. I've done jiu-jitsu here and there, and I loved it. Like every time, no diddy or anything, but every time you get choked out, you're like, I'm going back for it, bro. I'm going right back for it. I'm getting up and I'm gonna try my best to go back for it.
Right, like that competition.
So it's like like that thirst, that wanting to do it, wanting to be better, not just for against the other person, just for you. Like it's just
for sure.
A drive.
So you played soccer, right?
Yeah, for a long time.
For like how long? When did you start?
Bro, since I have memory.
Did you start here?
No, I started in Spain.
Spain?
Yeah,
okay.
Spain.
Because that's the country.
That's the country for it, bro.
So when did you immigrate here?
So I immigrated here. I was 11, 12. 11 turning 12. Yeah.
And when did you start playing soccer in Spain?
Same age as us.
Bro, I started playing.
We were like
6, 7.
I don't even remember, bro. That's how long. Like it's been forever. It's been so long. It's been so long.
What would you say is like, because obviously the sports there are just more developed, especially soccer.
Yeah.
So when you play there, because this is why I bring it up, because my friends actually went there for tryouts, and they told me that there they just play on a different level.
Yeah.
It's unimaginable compared to what they do here. So
much
when you grow up in that environment with people having that much drive and that much potential, and then you come here and you look at some people just kind of taking it for granted type of thing, because what America really offers compared to other countries is the reason why we immigrated in the first place is because we know the potential of what this country offers and what we can do here and the freedom and everything. So when you come here as an immigrant, you really have one good pressure on your back that you came to a country and it's a blessing, and God gave you the gift to be here in the first place that a lot of people wish for their life to be here.
100%.
And we have it as a young people, and kind of tell me about your mindset on after understanding the fact that like all these people are dreaming to be in America, and here I am, and all right, like I really have to.
So, I mean, there's a lot out there. Yeah. So I'm not trying to put America in a pedestal, but it's obviously 100% an opportunity for anyone that comes. Now, the first thing you feel though is like you're all the way in the back of a line, like all the way back.
Yeah.
Like you're starting from zero, a new life.
Yeah.
That, for example, I didn't ask to be here, but I ended up here. So it was like, damn, like I have to learn a new language. I have to learn a new culture. I have to make friends. I have to this, I have to that. So it's like, I'm all the way back there. And on top of everything, you starting, I mean, my family, my mom, which is basically my only family here, she's also starting over. So like, imagine you at 30 years old, starting something all over again.
Just kind of leaving everything behind. Everything behind.
Yeah. So
to start from scratch.
So I like it now because now I feel grateful. Like every time you think about those little things, you're just so grateful. But it's crazy. I think that's the feeling of when you get here. You start all the way at the back of the line, and it depends. It's up to you on how you're gonna make it all the way to the front.
Did you ever have conflict in school with kids? Because when we came, right, we had a different mindset, different type of. We grew up in a different environment, and the environment here was very different. So was it like that for you as well?
So
did you have conflict with?
Because dude, we would get in a lot of fights.
So I wasn't the biggest fighter. I'm not gonna say I was the toughest either. But I wouldn't let anyone mess with me though. Like I would always keep stay respected in a way that I don't have to do, anything.
Yeah, you have to stand
above and beyond. Yeah. But like, obviously, I did get into some fights in high school, but that's because I was a little more.
And we went to
in high school, and that's also the high school. It didn't help, but I was a little cocky at the time. I would say like a little chip on my shoulder type thing. Yeah. Sometimes, not all the time, but I don't know, bro. It's you guys, I don't know how you guys could get into fights. That's the thing. Like I don't see it. I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see it. I really want to see it.
For us, it was more like people would, like our age, would start making fun of us because we didn't know the English, and they would like curse at us. Obviously, we wouldn't understand. Even if they told us something good, we'd obviously like think it was bad or whatever. But mostly was that they would look down on us, and like you take it once, you take it a second time, third time, and then when you can't talk back. The only thing you can really do is just fight back and use your physical power
as language.
That was it, for us mostly.
So that did happen a few times, like getting bothered and all that, bullied in a way as well.
And when you're in middle school,
high school, it's a little. But I was gonna say something, I forgot.
It's all good.
Let me catch back into that.
Well, I feel like a lot of
go ahead,
like guys around our age or a little bit younger in teenage age, like I feel like they kind of take being in America as like for granted. Like they're really complacent. They're like really soft. Like they don't really know that huge jump. Like you said, like felt like you were in the back of the line. Versus these people, they're already kind of like in ahead of like the line already, but they take it for granted.
100%. So,
like what do you think? Like how come? Like what would you say to like those kids or like people like that who are just complacent? Like was there in a position like where you were in that like area where you kind of took it for granted a little bit?
I think I never took it for granted, thankfully. Mm-hmm. I think that's because, my mom, the way she raised me. But what
do you think people are missing?
I think it's that struggle, like you guys say, like the people that have came from pretty much nothing, they always try to find a way.
They're more humble.
Yeah. And the people that, for example, I have friends or old friends that they just have everything handed to them, and I'm like, and when I try to advise them, they kind of like throw me off. They're like
brush you off a little bit.
Like they're like,
they get emotional too.
Just like
even sometimes
push me away. They get emotional. They can't take it, and sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I don't understand why. Like because I always say with the best, within the best benefit. Like I'm like, yo, you should, really try to do this, and that. I think it'll be the best thing. Nah, I might want to get a new car. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, bro. Do your thing. I know. I'm just here. I'm whatever.
So when somebody's in that position, and they're getting complacent, and they got everything handed to them and stuff. What would your go-to advice be on how to find struggle? Because for somebody, I guess, to sometimes think, oh, how do I just find struggle like that? Might be a little bit confusing. Oh, do I have to put myself in a situation where I struggle? Because that's also, I won't say like the best approach, but you can always find something to challenge yourself on. So what would you give the advice on that type of person who's really complacent and just is in comfort zone?
Sometimes I wouldn't even give an advice. Sometimes I'll just let it happen because life just lifes you in the face, like just.
Right, but it's like, okay, it's your friend.
Okay,
it's your friend. And you give your friend advice because you want the best for them.
You see that they're lazy a little bit.
So that's different. For example, for friends, I have a lot of friends. Not everyone, not to everyone I talk to them like you guys or like him or like anyone else, right? So that's more. It goes down to who you are. I think it goes more down the brotherhood side, like who I consider real close. But what's the
advice? How does somebody
I would tell them, bro. I'm a really honest person, and my friends know this, and they know I don't have a filter behind what I have to tell them. So I'm like, yo, you're lacking, bro. Like, you're just completely, what are you doing? Like, come on now. Like, what is this? There's no way you should be acting this way, doing this and doing that. It's not good for you. And that's really it. Like, I just keep it straight with them.
Do you have a story?
Not really. They just look at me as an example. Yeah. Because I think I'm the biggest influence to them. And also it's just like, why not me? Why can't I be that big influence?
Exactly. If other people can do it, why can't you? And I'm really glad that you said leading by example, because I think that's the best way to sometimes do it, rather than saying or explaining yourself to somebody. Just have to show them.
It's funny
through your actions.
You don't have to. They don't have to talk about it. They think about it. Like they know. Like people know. For example, like when I started my barber business, it looked like a small business. Then all of a sudden you guys saw me at a studio and everything. And then everyone's like, they don't say it, but they think it. And they're like, wow, like that was a little fast. That was a little crazy.
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see that coming. That got big. I could try that. But then they don't know what came behind that. But they see it. So as long as they think about it, I'm okay with it.
Has your friends been inspired by being a barber or in the field that you're in? Have shown interest?
They have, but never to the extent to take a risk.
Okay.
Which sucks.
Just like starting their own business?
Yeah, which just sucks. Because I wish they would. I mean, to this day, not all of them listen to me, and I can't make them, but I let them do their own thing. I think they're all on a good path.
Nothing is better than having business with friends, though.
Yeah, so, I'm telling you that. One friend did jump, and that's the guy I'm teaching.
Yeah.
And he took the jump. His name is David. He's cutting at the studio. Shout out to Chris, cutting with Chris. And he's doing great. He's doing fire. He did make the jump, and he has a wife. He has a difficult schedule. He works and this is what I mean. Like he's putting in so much work. And
so he was married and he made a jump
He was married. He has a full-time job, and he still makes it to the studio to cut in the mornings. Like that's impressive. To me, that's crazy.
So he finds passion in also being a barber.
He loves it. He makes the sacrifice, and that's sometimes you gotta make those sacrifices.
Yeah, dude. Nothing big comes without sacrifices.
Yeah,
you have
playing
to
it
sacrifice
safe
one thing
and all that
or another.
Come on now, like it's just grow up.
What was like one of your biggest sacrifices so far?
Let me think.
What did you have to leave behind?
Would you jump
habits? Just like bad habits.
How about soccer?
Soccer was a sacrifice. Soccer was a sacrifice.
We had to talk about that. I asked you why didn't you pursue it, because you were good at it.
Yeah, you were really,
and you're still good at it.
It was really sad because and this is back to the coming from another country thing. But you see everyone going to college. You see everyone enjoying that time in college and playing soccer in college,
partying even,
and and partying, the college experience. But to me it was more like soccer. Like I wanted to play so bad that I felt a type of way seeing everyone play, like some of my friends play and go like to Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and I'm like, wow, I could have been there. Like I'm as good. I'm just as good or better. I could have been there, but I decided to take the route of being an entrepreneur.
Right.
that was one of my biggest sacrifices. I say I still play to this day. I love it. I love the game. I'm never gonna stop playing.
Sure.
But it was hard, bro. It was hard because since a little kid, you have that passion, and it's like I try to hold on to it for so long. It was like, damn.
Plus, not everybody's life's the same. So,
exactly.
like, even if you're good in a sport, you have different responsibilities in life, right? So, it's
and then reality hits, bro.
Exactly. And some people come from a poor country. Some people are like more wealthy family, so they're able to, put money into the sports and stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
Tell us a little bit. I want to go back to like the life of partying, that college experience type of life. Because here's the thing, let's keep it real. In high school, I do remember you were into that type of lifestyle. Because look, it's not just you, bro.
Same boat.
Every single one of us here have had moments, especially as a teenager. Everybody will understand us, where you chase girls, drinking, smoking, all these type of stuff that it gets to you. Everybody else lust. Exactly, these type of stuff. It's around you and it gets to you, especially when you're in the environment where everybody else is doing it. When you already switch the environments to having friends where you're more thinking about things like seriously and productivity, it's different. But when you're in the friend group where everybody's just constantly talking about this and that, you're tempted. So tell us about that. So
you've seen a few of my videos, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen that one that says misery loves company.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's literally the one. It's if a friend, no friend is really, unless it's a brother, like someone that really, but no friend is really gonna tell you, yo, take life serious. Like take life serious. Nah, but they will invite you to dumb stuff because they don't want to feel like they're doing it, and they don't want to feel like they're the only ones doing it. So they want to drag you in with them, and it's okay for them.
Keep you in that misery, right? As well.
But for example, if you want to break that chain, and that's what I wanted to do, so breaking that chain and advising the right way, like, nah.
And
like
some
you gotta
people start
stop
following
that.
you afterwards.
Exactly. So then you become that leader, like, and that's why I go back to why not us? Like, why can't it be us? Why can't we be the ones that break generational wealth, that break curses and break all of that? Break through anything possible.
For sure. So then for your kids and stuff, you can be the example.
Yeah.
You can lead by example, which is the most important thing. Is you can give all the advice you want, even with the kids, but if you're not the example, they just won't listen to you. It's a very simple phenomenon. Like even with somebody 100%. Coming up to you and talking to you about business, but they don't have business. This happens a lot in college and stuff. Is professors, right? Yeah. Talking to you about business. Yeah, they can teach you the knowledge of business, but when it comes to like actually doing business and running a business, that's a whole different thing. That's why not everybody can do it. Only few are successful in actually running a business and stuff. And it's like, it might seem easy for you to say, or for the audience to think that, okay, it's just a flip of a switch, the mindset. Was there ever a time where you were going, off from partying, drinking, all these type of stuff, but then, being consistent with doing productive work, but then going back to it again and being stuck in that loop? Then coming back and forth, because I feel like that's what it takes. It's
really hard. It's really hard to say no. Like it's hard because you don't want to
be left out, right?
Yeah, you want to be out there. You want to have fun with your friends. You want to do this, do that. But then that's the hard part, saying no. So that's the part where you got to work.
Was it ever escape for you, like these type of situations? Escape from the responsibilities, escape from problems.
In a way, yeah. In a way, yeah. 100%. You go, you have fun. You hardly remember the day before. You're like, yo, like I'm pretty sure you guys probably heard that I used to even do parties, and I used to just But it was like and then I think back at it, I'm like,
what was I doing?
It's like sometimes I'm like it was great, and some other times I'm like it was just a waste of time. It was just a waste of time. I could have been doing something else. I could have been being productive.
Yeah, we think a lot of the times, even thinking back to the degenerate stuff that I was also doing, is you're trying to escape from responsibilities and problems that won't actually just disappear. You think that it's just going to go away from you partying and doing this stuff, but it doesn't disappear. If anything, it gets bigger and bigger. It stresses you out more that you're ignoring it. You know what I mean? It's like the elephant in the room. You got to get rid of that elephant in the first place. You know what I mean? because otherwise what happens is those habits consume you so much that you start really normalizing it.
Yeah.
And then
you think it's okay.
Exactly. And you think it's okay. And you never feel fulfilled. I think that's really like the biggest thing that we talk about is people seek for happiness in these type of things, but they never get fulfilled. So if it's such a good thing and it's such a pleasurable thing, it really is. I mean, partying, girls, all this type of stuff, but it doesn't fulfill you. What fulfills you is passion. What fulfills you is following God, but walking that narrow path with God and doing things that is actually good.
Finding purpose.
Passion, finding purpose in your life is what really fulfills you. So
going through struggle fulfills
fulfills you, yeah. And it's like escaping those. Just I don't know. Doesn't really cut it.
Nah, it doesn't.
I feel like there's a huge difference between because I bet there's like some people who like you party with and stuff like that, but you took a different route. Like what was different for you? Like what was that moment? Like to flip a switch. Like you know what? I'm gonna pursue entrepreneurship.
I think I always had a little bit in me, bro. I think it was more like.
So do you believe in the statement you're not made an entrepreneur? You're born an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I was working after high school. I was working at restaurants. I was doing a bunch of restaurants, bro. Yeah. And it was such a loop. It's like it's crazy how you can't get out of that. Like it's so crazy. I worked at like 4 restaurants, and it was like any job that I could find, it was a restaurant for some reason, and I hated it. I liked the money at the end of the day. Okay. I didn't like everything that came. The stress.
It's a lot of work,
I was stressing for someone else.
Were you server?
That's I was busser and server, going back and forth with that. But they didn't even really make me officially a server. So I was like, I'm out here working for someone else. And this is what I mean. Like sometimes you just gotta go and reflect. So I was working for someone else. I'm like, I'm just stressing over someone else. Like I'm just doing all this for a manager that sucks.
And that doesn't really care about you.
And they don't care.
Because it depends what kind of manager you have. But
I actually ran into him not too long ago. And it was kind of, it was nice. In a way, it was nice. Because now I'm not talking to you as a worker to worker. You're talking to someone that has his own business. And I'm talking to you who also has his own business.
Did you have conflict with him?
No, not at all. No. No grudges, no nothing ever for anyone now. That's not good.
Yeah, that's never. And here's the thing. I agree with you completely about that because even with me, the reason why I pursued that entrepreneur, all of us, is because it just doesn't feel right to have a boss. It just tells you what to do when you actually know the potential and capability of you being your own self's boss. Yeah. If you can't control your life, that's usually when people take that route too. I want somebody to tell me what to do. And people do well in those environments.
People like it.
Exactly. And I think nothing is wrong with it when you're good at what you're doing, truly, even if you have a boss.
Yeah.
Because look, you can work at one of the best businesses and still have a boss. But it's just like, it's what you do in that environment that matters. So it's like there's these people who are at 9 to 5, let's say, but are really doing their best. And really are happy with what they're doing. But then there's people who are miserable, completely miserable, don't even take anything seriously, don't even care what kind of food they serve, what kind of food they make, how they clean, whatever. It's like whatever you do, at least do it the best you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't even have that mindset.
Yeah.
I want to ask. Oh, were you gonna say something?
No, I said it's crazy. It's just crazy how people think that.
Exactly, and I was gonna say too, because like high school and stuff in school, would you like? Why didn't you like it? Like, what about school? Like, did not like rub you the right way?
I just didn't like it at all, bro. Like I looked at my grades about like my old grades about 2 years ago, a year ago, or something like that. And my freshman and my sophomore year were actually good. I was actually a good student. I was not, but then I was like, nah, I can't. Nah, I'm not cut for this. I'm not liking it. I kept skipping as well. So I really liked that freedom. I liked it. I loved it. I was like, I'm going into school just to come back out.
Sometimes you can feel like a prison cell. You're in a prison cell. You're told what to do. You just sit there, don't move.
And the teachers, they don't help. They don't help. The high school didn't help at all either. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I don't know why. I don't know what was in there, but it just was not for me, bro.
No, I think lack of freedom It could be definitely one of them. Is they don't give you that opportunity. They don't even ask you questions about. They don't care. What do you want to do? It's just, or they don't teach you this different perspective on life that you actually get to experience after high school and after school.
They don't.
You don't get that.
Markio did though. He was giving us some.
Oh no, he's great. I cut him to this day. I cut him. Yeah.
Great person.
I just
Shout
think
out to him.
it doesn't shape you in the way that it should.
It's like cookie cutter almost, right?
Yeah, like it's not.
Like everybody gets put in the same box.
It's funny because you go to school and then you get thrown out there, and depending if you go to college or not, but then you just get thrown into life.
And it's so different.
And it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. It's pretty hard.
Because nobody told you how to, I guess, pursue and seek for what you truly like. They told you, okay, this is what you're going to do. They're going to put this. It is a system. It's they put this book in front of you, read this, answer these questions. If you get a good grade, get a good grade. Yeah. But in reality, if school doesn't teach you how to fail, but that's exactly what happens in life, is you fail the most, is how do you really handle the failures when you're not taught to fail?
It's, I don't know, bro. With school, I was just never the guy. Never liked it.
And it's an example.
And
why you're
I wanted the freedom. And for example, that was the same thing I was chasing when I was cutting hair. The freedom.
Yeah.
Then I started to realize that I fell in love with the craft. Like I really liked it. It's a journey that you never stop learning as well. So it's like, and then proud to say I'm now teaching. So it's that was a big step too.
Tell us a little bit about that, because when did you officially move to the studio? How long ago? Because you had your
little bit over a year
apartment for a year, and then after a year,
I actually sold my couch as my mom was at work. So I was like, so I sold my couch. I was like, Mom, this is what's gonna happen. The couch is gone. There's nothing we can do about it.
Oh yeah, that free space.
And now we have all this space. I'm gonna make a studio here, and whenever I'm done with it, I'm gonna buy you a whole set. I might buy you a whole living room set. And I ended up doing it.
Yeah, let's go.
But that's how confident I was in myself, because I was and then back to sports. I feel like that was that hunger in me that was like I can't lose. There's no way I can lose. And then to this day, I still think there's no way I can lose.
Yes.
And again, it's me against me.
It's great, bro, because when you listen to successful people talk about their businesses and their careers and how they succeeded, you will hear 99% of the times them saying is if somebody else can do it, and if they actually put the work and they succeeded, why can't I do it? Yeah. Truly, anything in life, you want something, how can you not really get it if you do everything in your power to get it? It just doesn't make sense.
It's down to the question, are you giving life your everything?
Yeah.
How do you expect everything from life if you're not giving it your all?
Right.
It's really that simple. Like you also gotta do inner work. You gotta dig into yourself. You gotta see what matches with what and what kind of person you are.
For sure.
What are you?
Because if you don't know yourself, it's really hard to even find what you like in the first place. So yeah, that studio, when you moved in, you started working there and stuff, and then when did you guys start like the program? Because I remember I was seeing some progress and stuff. So
the school of barbering is Ken. It's all Ken. He's just...
And shout out to Ken. He's the guy that...
D4th Ken. Yeah. He's 500,000 followers on YouTube. Insane. Yeah. Just by cutting hair. Like, that's just crazy. That was all Ken. I teach personal, like in person, one-on-ones or a small class. I love to do it. I think it's one of my purposes in life, and I enjoy it. I just enjoy it. And every day, my boys tell me, they're like, oh, what's there that you can learn from me? I learn a lot. I learn patience. I learn different skills that they have that I didn't know, right? People pick up on small things, and those small things, you can learn from that. You know, so I'm not always like opposed to like, just because he doesn't know as much as I do, I can't learn from him. No, it shouldn't be that way.
Because I think the best way you learn about how confident and how much you know is when you start teaching somebody else. Yeah. That's when you start like getting knowing, whatever.
And again, I love them. They always give me my flowers. They're like, yo, like, I appreciate that. And I take feedback as well. I tell them, look, be honest with me. If you liked it, if you didn't like the way I was talking or was teaching you, just tell me. any questions, they can also ask me. They know. They just know.
For sure. Because when you're getting that feedback, it always helps you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
somebody not telling you something never does you any favor.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? Because you don't learn.
You think you're the best, it hurts me a lot than you not tell me at all.
Yeah.
I just rather that.
Yeah, for sure. And what would you say is like probably one of the best steps to take when it comes to already teaching somebody else? Because I'll tell you a little backstory, because we had a guest here who's a chef, and he also teaches people how to cook and stuff. And, you know, you need a whole different skill for teaching somebody how to do something. You can be the best at whatever you do. You would understand it from a coach's perspective.
So me and Ken talk about this. Yeah, me and Ken talk about this a lot. Yeah. So and nothing against Ken, but Ken is not the best one-on-one teacher, right? So he was like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how it is, what it is, or like having a conversation with a client or any of that. I think it goes down to personality. I think nobody can buy that from you.
For sure.
The way you are, the way you do it, and if it's meant for you, you know, if you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, if you like teaching people, if you like doing that, if you like feel comfortable, you feel it. You just feel it in you. Like when I was teaching,
it just comes naturally.
Yeah,
right?
I was at first I was very nervous. I'm like, wow, like I'm teaching people that have been cutting for longer than I am, 5 years, 6 years. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna take this in the right way. Right. So I'm like, I got to try to be real subtle in the way I say everything. So I was like, yes. And I could tell I was nervous because I was showing them and I was just shaking right there. And I'm like, I don't want them to think I'm nervous, but I got to like shake this off. So it's a skill. It's a progress. You got to really check on yourself a little bit, because sometimes they used to ask me questions. And in my head, I'm like, did he just ask that? Like, did he just ask that? Like, it's so simple, it's obvious, it's self-explanatory. But then you learn patience, and you learn many other things.
Albert Einstein said this quote, and it goes something like, if you can't explain to somebody like you would to a 2-year-old, that means you don't understand it. Mm-hmm. And when I first heard that, it really made a lot of sense, because when people ask you the simplest questions, that's usually sometimes the hardest questions it is.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? And especially in business, is when it comes to those little details that you learn, you actually understand how much you don't know.
Yeah.
When it's such a simple thing that you can mess up from and you kind of haven't thought about it, that's when you start thinking, okay, where are the other details that I might not be paying attention to that I should a little bit more? And, you know, from the person's perspective that doesn't know that, it seems easy. And I'll give an example. It's like, for somebody who is in detailing business, outside perspective might be, you're just washing a car. Yeah. You're doing so much more than that. Mm-hmm. Same with that. You're just holding that thing and just razor and then trimming the hair. But in reality, you're doing so much more than that. It's the pattern. It's just the way it looks, the way it comes out.
So much detail behind it.
So much detail behind it. So kind of tell us a little bit about those little details that you learn about that might seem very straightforward from somebody who has no idea about what's really going in the process of it, if that makes sense. And
so in what way, the little details?
So, okay, ready? Like, somebody just thinks you just cut hair.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, anybody can give a fade, right? But it's just not true.
I don't know, man.
It's really not.
So
I don't know if it's a good question though.
So it is a good question, but it's hard to explain as a barber. So and I don't even consider myself a barber. I'll say one more like a hair advisor.
What's the difference?
I think it changes with, I can tell what would suit you just with looking at this side of your face and not even your hair.
Okay.
So I can tell you
what would suit the face structure?
Yeah, like I go based on face structure. I make like my analysis in a way. Like I look at you, I look at the hair, I'm like, okay, this would look crazy, this would look fire, this would look bad. And I keep it real. I tell them, and my clients know that. And when we're gonna try something new, they're already like, I'm like, yo, you cool? And he's like, do your thing. So
right, there's
a lot of trust, yeah. But back to what you were saying is, it's just so much detail. Like I bet you guys know, because you guys do. For example, you guys have something similar, and it's little things that I try
make the difference.
Yeah, I try to explain my students and all that. And like, for example, I explained David, right? Like I say, and I'm like, you got to hit this line right here. And he's like, what line? And I'm like, this line. It's like, what line? I'm like, the line right there. I see it right there. He's like, I don't see nothing. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's
you
crazy.
Just start seeing things that other people don't see because you already know it.
Mm-hmm. And then it becomes muscle memory. And I'm a perfectionist, so I try to just check everything every time. That little line, the slightest thing. I'm like, yo, you need to take that off. Like,
I think now I understand how to ask that in a better way, because you know, somebody comes to you and they have a very long hair.
Okay.
You got to know the patterns on how, like, where to start from, how to start it. Even with fade, it's like I've seen your videos where you make a line first and then you start fading it out. Yeah. Because of different sizes and all that. So that's kind of where I was going with it, because I've seen some videos where Ken was showing the class and kind of demonstrating on how to do a hair where it's a flow. And when it's a flow, you cut different patterns. Yeah. So that's kind of like where I was going with the question.
It's hard, bro. It's really hard. Like, it's
just for the
for barbers. If any barbers are here, it's a lot of calculation. You can half-ass it though sometimes.
And learning from failures too. You mess up and then you realize that.
Yeah, you mess up a lot, and that's the best way to learn. To be honest, if you mess up, you know you're not gonna do that again. You're not gonna. And then sometimes you lose a client, and hey, it's all good, man. There's how many billions of people on earth? Like, there's more people, more heads. Every time you go out, you see someone new. So that's the way I think about it. I'm like,
especially in business, you shouldn't worry about
if I lose a client. I'm like, bro, I walk outside, I see 30 more people, and within minutes.
Like, you can't let that get to you. That's what I'm trying to say. Not like you shouldn't care, but you shouldn't let that get to you.
You know why it's more difficult though when you're working with a person is you mess up their hair. Like with us, you mess a car up. You know what I mean? Cars, it's a car. Okay.
But like, then you can give them a nice car, bro.
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a nice car and you mess that up, like if you have a...
Like I said, it depends on the person. Like, let's say if you mess me up, I could go bald. And I still think I have the confidence to rock it. I have 100% confidence to rock it. I can go buzz cut, I can go down, up, whatever it is. So it kind of depends on the person. Yeah.
Did you have a client where
I've messed up?
Like you messed them
bad.
up.
I've cut someone's ear before, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I sliced someone just like right
scissors?
here. Yeah, real bad.
What'd you do?
He didn't even notice it. I was like, and he still comes back to this day. And it was when I started. He still.
So you didn't. Like, when you pointed out to him, what did he say? Like,
I was like, "Yo, my bad. I cut you." He's like, I think I feel it. It's like, I think I feel it. I'm like, no, I know you feel it. It's big as hell. So I grabbed the Band-Aid, I put it over. I'm like, next one's on me, bro. Next one's on me.
For sure. And that's why I was talking about like the whole connection with business and stuff is you learn from those failures. But if we, I guess, take a little step back from that, when you're cutting somebody's hair, there's some things where they don't even notice. And here's the thing, we have to be all honest as business owners. There have been situations where we messed something up, but we didn't tell the client. Like, I knew I messed up, and I'm being honest. I just didn't tell them. Yeah. Because it's like, whatever they don't know won't hurt them type of thing.
It's like ignorance is bliss, right?
Exactly. It's just,
unless it was something big.
Unless it was a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're not like being dishonest about it. But if it's that little thing. But for you, it's such a big deal because you understand those little details that matter.
Yeah.
For the client, they might not even care that you made a little scratch on the card, but for you, it's a big deal because now you're analyzing that if I was working on a Porsche or a Lamborghini, that would have been such a big deal.
Real bad.
So you're thinking from a very different mindset and perspective.
But then it goes back to what you said. You're just never gonna do that again because you're
or you might, right?
Still, so like for example, let's say I get a new
you will
client.
Like try more not to mess that up.
Yeah. So, but still, like if I get a new client, I'ma work my ass off to make that thing flawless. That's the point of my service, right?
Yeah.
I will never mess up. I'm as consistent as you can be. So that's why my price stays high. That's why it's gonna be higher, and you know you get what you paid for. You go.
Sure.
It's a big difference important. when you go to a $20 barber, $50 detailer. You know, like it's a big difference, bro.
Of course.
So it's about where you draw the line. You know, some people just hit a peak and they don't want to move from there, and that's fine. You're just good. But for example, for me, for my business, I want to scale it. I want to keep going up. So I want to keep learning too.
Exactly, because the better you're at something, and the better, the more quality your cut is, the higher it's gonna cost. Because people travel, dude. People travel from different states. I've even seen some people travel from USA to UK to get a cut.
So yeah, that's
a big deal. I personally probably would never do that.
I have people that have come 2 hours.
And you went to
that's
Florida,
crazy.
right, or something?
Yeah, I went to Florida for high school. Yeah. I had people that drive an hour still to this day. People that live in KOP.
Wasn't one today 2 hours you were telling me?
Yeah. That's kind of like the longest one that I've gotten. But
what does that feel like?
It feels good.
They drive 2 hours for you.
It feels real good, bro. It feels nice. Now back to the price point part. I wouldn't pay more than $70 for a haircut. I want to go higher than that personally.
And here's the thing too: some people get frequent haircuts too, and they're willing to pay that much.
Yeah, 100%.
They get every week. Dude, I know some people.
But then
every week.
This is the question I tell my friends. For example, like my friends, they like to, or friends in general. I don't know if you guys ever gotten it, but yo, let me get a discount.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty. But then I'd never do that. Never, ever do that. So I'm like, bro, full price. It's all full price. But it's about also respecting your business and you respecting your own business.
Exactly.
And that phrase, standing on business, it's just weird because...
Did you learn that the hard way?
The hard way,
you would give the
hard way.
discounts and stuff?
I used to hate it. I used to hate people that, I'll pay you later. I can't have that. I can't have that no more. And you use your standards go higher because, for example, my current clients, they never do that to me. They never tell me, yo, can you give me a discount? I'll pay you later or anything like that. So if those people are able to respect my business, respect my time, why can't the people that are close to me do the same? Right.
Right.
And
it
then,
goes like hand to hand. The respect.
And then back to the other stuff of like the price point. I wouldn't pay more than 70, but I would charge 100.
You would what?
I would 100% charge $100 for a haircut. There's people that give me 100 for, pretty much like every week. There's here and there that every week they give 100.
Does it come down to time too? How fast you're able to like? What does price really? I mean, quality, but
this is more for this is for the entrepreneurs.
All right,
do your data. Just do your data. Have a tracking sheet. Fill that thing up every time, every day.
What does it look like?
This one. So this one, it's with the help of Ken that I have it.
Yeah, show us.
I'll show you guys.
He's got 2 phones.
2 phones, yeah.
I didn't realize.
One's for content. And they both full on storage, man.
Oh, that's crazy. Dude, storage can be an issue when you edit, bro. I know that.
So this is what my tracking sheet looks like, right?
Yeah, we'll put this up on the screen.
Yeah. So every time
new client falls true.
I'm putting in after a haircut how much to pay, how much this, how much that, and that leads me to seeing how much I can charge in the future and how much people are willing to pay. So I think it's more about the experience as well,
right,
as the haircut. So you got to give a perfect experience, a great haircut. I wash hair, so I when you get to the studio, I usually, the way it goes, I mean, you also get free snacks. You're waiting in a place where you don't have noise, where you're calm, you're comfortable, instead of a barber shop where there's kids crying, there's a vending machine that you got to pay for. There is this is new to me because the other barber that it's my colleague, the other one that's in the studio now, the new one, he's been in a barber shop for 5 years.
Oh wow.
His chair used to click with the other guy's chair. That's how tight it was.
Wow.
So like imagine you just getting a haircut and then you just footsies with the other person. Like it's annoying.
Right.
You don't want that.
Yeah, those are the little things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the client feels more comfortable too when they're
I think for example when you guys come to my studio, you guys are like, damn, like this is a different ball game. Completely different ball game.
Dude, the amount of things that you had, like different clippers, different equipment.
Yeah, I live by that. Like I'm like, for you to be the best, gear up. Get your best. You want to do good pictures, you're going to get a good camera or in a good lens. You're not going to
Dude, I constantly see you guys are upgrading.
Yeah.
Like little by little.
Yeah.
Sometimes you guys are getting better cameras.
Yeah.
then you guys had like the green screen that you guys do.
Yeah,
the white, the ring
white
lights.
Yeah.
You guys have the person who you're taking the picture after the cut stand on the thing.
You guys
so it
even
looks
do
good.
it on yourself too. Like somebody's cutting you and then taking pictures, kind of like test, right? Because you said
so we do a lot of work behind the scenes. So like we, an example is the new barber. He is really good with black hair, African American afros, all of that. You know, like just that type
because
of hair.
Because the thicker texture, the more curly.
They're different.
Coils,
they're curly and they're really tight curls sometimes. So I'm like, cut me. You gotta keep cutting me. You gotta stay cutting me until you get this down to perfection. And that's just the way it goes. And he can mess me up. I don't mind it. He's learning. That's just how I learned.
Right. That trust with each other, you're building brotherhood, the bond. And you guys are learning together because you're in really the same field. You guys are going through the same stuff. And even with you would change the hairstyles too, even just try one thing, another. Was that for the experience?
To teach them. Like if I dye my hair, I don't really like it like that much anymore. Maybe during the summer, you know, but if I dye my hair, it's just...
Does it look good like when you bleach it though?
I love it. I like it. I think I can rock it. But it's just a lot of work. So I don't like to go through all that. But to teach them, I'm willing to go that. I'm willing to do it 100%.
For sure. Do you want to ask him something?
Yeah, I want to ask because when you have clients, how many clients do you get like a day, you think?
So
like on a day, like average?
I like to take... I like my days around like 8 to 10 clients. Now, me pushing it is around 12 to 15.
It's like an hour each or what?
Not
45?
Not everyone. So lately, I have been doing shorter haircuts. I just been testing things out a little bit because I'm about to jump to like a new price. So I've been testing out. I've been trying to see how long I take with different textures. How long I take, let's say with a hair like yours, long hair, long hair that I have to like graduate and like do a bunch of scissor work with.
Wash it too because when it's long, you definitely have to wash it.
Shampoo, conditioner, everything goes in there. So
because I wanted to ask because I feel like service-based businesses like that, like when you're just there one-on-one, you have to show up for other people, right? Do you ever have moments where like you're just like, I really don't feel like cutting hair. I really don't feel like showing up for a client. Like what is like your mindset during that?
I cut my finger right here, and the other day
that's
I was
a big
like,
cut, bro.
I was like, yeah, it's a big cut. It's the finger that I turn my clippers on with. So it's like that I hold my scissors. So I was like, bro, I'm injured. Like this is an injury for me, bro. Like I'm playing with an injury right now. There's so many moments like that.
What's the responsibility like showing up for like these people because like they paid for your service and
it's like it goes down about to who you are as a person. Like I could really just not show up. I could really just, bro.
So it's like being your own boss, right?
Yeah, I'm like, bro,
and
not
discipline
today.
too.
I could just say that, but nah. Like even sometimes, let's say I had and it doesn't happen, but let's say I had a day of one haircut. I'm showing up to that one haircut. I don't care what time is it at, what time you booked it at. I'm showing up. It's really about if you show up.
And discipline too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you tell yourself when you don't feel like showing up for a client? Like, what do you?
How do you motivate yourself?
No.
There's never that?
I can't have that. No.
That's just a standard, right?
Yeah, like my standards are too high. I would be upset if that was me and trying to book a haircut and someone cancels on me. Something that we forget a lot when we are our own boss is how to be a client. We forget how to be a client. I forgot how, like, I get so many haircuts now that I forgot what it feels like to go to a barbershop. And I go from time to time. I do have, for example, some people out there that I support, so I go to them to a shop. But then I also go there to be reminded of where I'm at. I'm like, I get a haircut. So nice. I'm there for the support mainly. But then I go back to my studio. I'm like, there's nothing like this.
Yeah.
Nothing like this.
Yo, I'm glad you touched up on that topic is because if you don't put yourself in the shoes of your client, you're never going to understand how to better your services for the client to feel good, because just the fact that everybody has such unique experiences, unique perspectives on how they want the service to be for them and make them comfortable, is the more often you put yourself in different people's shoes, the more you understand how to be able to approach them in a way. And this doesn't mean that you please them, because sometimes people pleasing doesn't work because you don't have to. some people are just ignorant.
You
what I'm
can't
trying to say.
control that.
Some people.
Yeah.
Not everybody. So it is also good to just know different approach with different people. How do you learn that?
So I think my business is really about problem solving, right? So the way I go about it, the way I was taught how to go about it by Ken as well, solve a problem and you have a client for life. Like if I solve, like let's say you have a bad hairline or very difficult hairline and I'm good at fading, which is what I'm good at, fading.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm good at hairlines, but I take longer time. So I fade them quick and then I take my time with the hairline and I make sure it's the best work I can do. And then they stay. I'm like, yo, why did you decide to, come to me? You're like, bro, they were messing up my hairline. And that is really that simple. Like they're willing to pay those prices if you really just think and ask them. And for example, some people nowadays, I'm like, what's your biggest issue with your hair? How are you feeling about it? So how you feel about your hair? Do you like it? Do you think it's too long?
What bothers you?
What bothers you about it? Do you not want so much weight, so much this? Then they're like, nobody ever asked me that. I just go and say a mid fade, and it's true. So that's why, like, you forget how to be a client. Like, I be forgetting sometimes, and I have to be reminded at all times.
And another thing is the mistakes that we've also made is trying to go for something cheaper, but then understanding that you would rather pay a little bit more money, but then not regret the fact that you got a awful haircut. Because now, let's say you spent $25 at a regular barbershop. Now you have to go to a professional one, pay $80.
And then there goes.
Exactly.
There goes down the drain.
Yeah. So it's like when it comes to those experiences too, and you understand it, you really are able to, I guess, sell client better because you put that in perspective in their head that, hey, this is just reality. It's not me selling you this because I want to make more money from you. This is really how it is.
It's just better.
You're just spending more money.
Yeah.
If you're going somewhere to get a cheap haircut when you want your haircut to be really good.
It's crazy because, I mean, I have really high standards. So I'm not saying I like this super crazy stuff, but I will pay that extra 20, 30, 50 to get a professional job, like a good job. Yeah. People are just not like that. Some people just don't care. They don't care about,
they don't care what kind of
haircut they get. Whatever and then there's barbers who half-ass it, and I'm like, yo, I mean.
Okay, do you think a lot of them half-ass it?
Yeah. 100%.
Because you're in that field, you would know.
Yeah. I think barbershops are messed up, like bad.
And you know what's the crazy part? I've been in that situation where
but it always works.
A lot of people gatekeep, bro. A lot of, like, let's say the best barber in a 10 people barbershop, right?
Yeah.
He won't teach you. A barbershop, and again, this is new to me because I've never been in a shop because I never wanted a shop. I never wanted to be in a barbershop. But the guy that I work with now, he was telling me, he's like, it's every man for their own. You're not there, you're there to do your own thing, and you can ask for tips, but they will barely even try to tell you about it because they don't want you taking their clients, or they don't. And he was telling me there's been fights, there's been police involved. At his barbershop, there was a pit bull walking around, sleeping on the floor. So it was like, bro, like, this is crazy. Like, this is wild. Like, one time FBI came in, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
FBI getting involved.
I'm like, bro, like,
this is
where's this from?
Come on,
like, now. I'm like, you could just be cutting hair, and it's crazy. He's a really good guy. He's a great barber as well.
Yeah, it's amazing the fact that you already found such community like that where you guys are helping each other, and now you're creating a big project, a big brand about this.
So something he was telling me, I'm really a giver, right? I like to give a lot. When he first got to the studio, you want to make someone feel like they're at home, like they're good, they're in good hands, So I was, I'm here to help, whatever you need. So I seen his brushes were a little messed up. So the first thing, and he pointed that out to me, but I didn't see it that way. Like so I went to my station, and I'm like, I have a bunch of brushes. So I grabbed a few. I grabbed like 3-4 brushes, and I put them in his station. I didn't say anything. And then later on, he was like, bro, it's crazy the switch of being here to being at the shop, like nobody would ever do that. And then he used to always.
So he worked at a shop before?
Yeah, he worked at a shop for like 5 years. Yeah, and
because when you go to that kind of places,
yeah, and I'm like,
somebody just comes at you. You want to cut? You know what I mean? Like they're all like,
and I was like, there's no way, like nobody ever has helped you out. And he's like, nah, bro, nobody does that. Nobody does that. Like that's new to me, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like so surprising, right? And it just kind of opens your eyes to how people actually work sometimes.
And it's egos. Like you could have like, I think my team is great. I think the guys are on fire lately too. Like we're posting content, we're getting active, we're communicating a lot. Obviously, sometimes we have our disagreements.
The other one also succeeds.
Yeah. So, I was like, bro, like there's so much ego and so much pride in those places, bro. Like it's just like to me,
it kind of doesn't make sense why they also charge $25, right?
Yeah.
That's why they kind of don't progress.
It makes a lot of sense. And some people have a full book and they charge $25, but they don't have the freedom. So it's like, okay, you're making money, but what are you making money for? There's just no point. And you're just like, a slave of the chair.
Are you really progressing?
Yeah,
too?
like you're just a slave of the chair. That's really it. You're just working for the chair. You're not really there for yourself at all, or cutting without a purpose, without trying to learn and be better.
Right.
Just keeping the same flow.
Yeah. Dude, I remember even when we would go get a haircut and stuff, it's like they didn't know anything more than a regular fade and just cutting down your hair with scissors.
Or just tell them a size, like size 3 or size 2.
Yeah, that's literally what I used to do.
They didn't know the fade. You know,
like, sometimes they would do a poor job.
You know Bell's Market there, the Chinese people that work there?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that place. They just do the basic
one. Big change, bro. From there to me, that's a big change.
It's like I respect that they got a business going on, all that kind of stuff. They're hustling, but at the same time, we're just putting in perspective that not everybody has the mindset to progress, get better, and just raise their standards every single day.
Yeah, some people they don't even like doing it.
Yeah, they probably just do it for
like
money.
The people. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You're good.
It was on Do Not Disturb. I don't know why.
Which phone was that?
That was the bigger one.
Yeah. Like for example, and I'm not trying to come at them, but like let's say the people in North Philly that wash cars, right? Which is where I work at in North Philly. I work in Kensington, by the way. So it's a big task to get people to come to Kensington. It's a big job. Like, if I can get people to go there, I can get people to go anywhere.
But Georgie told me that where your studio is, it's actually not even a bad neighborhood. It's just close. It's just when people hear Kensington.
Yeah, they get like
zombies.
Yo, actually, tell us about that.
Oh my god! Like they're like,
how do you keep people?
It's the first question I ask. The first question I asked, I actually asked my last client that I cut this week. I was like, he's a guy I used to play soccer with. I was like, what did you think? Like when you first got here, he was like, it's like, bro, I don't know if I was gonna come. like why? Like, well, it's Kensington. And I'm like, I mean, I get it.
You should have been like, Rios got
Some
your
people
back.
don't even come. Some people don't even show up. Yeah. They just don't feel safe.
Do you always have to explain yourself, kind of saying like, yo, it's not dangerous at all, the studio where we're located?
I don't like to. I think if they're gonna come, they're gonna come. If not, they're not. Like for example, the coffee shop right there. You guys seen it?
Yeah.
That thing today had a line to the outside of the coffee shop. Wow. And they don't have to tell you nothing. But the line was all the way outside, and there was people waiting, and it was raining. Right. And I'm like, bro, if this coffee shop can get traffic, I can get traffic 100%.
There's not a lot of people walking there. So
yeah,
it's
bro.
surprising that
it's just you park and you gotta make the line. And I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Well, let's put it in this perspective then, right? We have to obviously look at it from our consumers' perspective. Mm-hmm. They're kind of afraid to come when it's really nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. So you would want to kind of go out of your way sometimes to explain
sometimes
that, hey, like it's really not bad at all. So in fact, it's not dangerous.
What I tell them to get in their head, I'm like, man, I don't cut no wussies, man. Like I cut men.
You just
I cut men, bro. Like I cut men. You're gonna tell me you can't show up to your appointment? They're like, nah, you're right, bro. Nah, you're right. They started like feeling tough. They start feeling tough. And I'm like, all right, I'll see you at 3, blah, blah. And then we just chatted up. And then after, when they come and they see the place, and for example, you guys seen the place, they're like, this is nice, bro. Like, this is really nice. This is a nice place to go here. And I'm like, yeah.
Dude, Dude, it's crazy. A lot of people have this fear of going to Kensington when it's, I'll be honest, it's dangerous, but it's not as dangerous as people make it out to be. It's mostly just druggies, right? It's not like criminals.
I think me being in Philly my whole life is like, I think Kensington has its bad side.
For sure.
If you go 100%. Down the wrong street,
Yeah.
there is definitely some kind at night. I mean, you definitely run into some crazy stuff, but
during the
there's
daytime,
worse neighborhoods. There's 100% worse neighborhoods. I don't think Kensington is the worst one.
like in Philly.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, Kensington's not the worst one to me, at least.
Dude,
no.
that's
I feel
what I'm
very
saying.
safe where I'm at. You know, I feel real cool. Like nothing's ever happened to me or Ken or anyone.
Right.
Ever. And you've seen my car.
Yeah.
I threw some nice rims in it.
That's what I'm saying. The parking
I don't stress about it at all.
Right. And
But there's
nobody's
cameras,
ever
right?
done it.
And I park in the street.
There's nobody that's done anything.
There's cameras there, here and there, but sometimes I have to park 2 blocks down. Sometimes there's no parking. I have like in the behind streets where there's a lot of iffy people, and I'm like, yeah, what's good? Like,
Making
good,
friends.
man. Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yo, I forgot that guy's name. He's like draw stuff and stuff. He's one of your clients too. You cut his hair too.
He draws.
Like he does digital logos and stuff. Dude, I forgot his name. But yeah, long story short, I remember he was telling me, he goes, yo, I'm about to get cut at Rios. Do you know anything about Kensington? He's like, yo, I need somebody to come with me because we're scared.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah,
wait, who?
you kind of.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
trying to
remember
figure it
his
out
name.
too.
Yo,
I
Alex,
get
you know
so
what I'm
many
talking
people,
about,
bro.
This guy, he's like our age. He would come to Rios' apartment. You would get a cut with him. He's like the kid who draws on iPad and stuff. He's like very talented on what he does, bro.
Who is it, bro?
I don't remember. The first couple times in the apartment?
When we were there, yeah.
I can't remember, bro. I see so many faces.
Yeah, anyway,
I see so many
yeah,
faces,
exactly.
bro. I'm
There's a lot
like,
of people that came
it's
to the
like,
apartment,
for sure.
I cannot remember.
You know what I also want to talk about now is friend group. You really have a tight friend group, and Alex is one of them that's here. And I think it's amazing that you have. A lot of people can't really say that it's a blessing like that in their life to have such tight group. You know what I mean? Tell us a little bit about that, because when I was there in your apartment and I saw your boys there, you guys are like family, bro. That's not even friends at that point. That's family.
So yeah, I do consider them family.
Yeah.
I do consider them family. We're not as tight anymore.
Right.
Not because of anything. Just you you
But
start,
you have those few
you
people.
start doing your own thing. Like for example, the reason why I'm with Alex today is because today I woke up and I was like, I want to go for a run in the city. So I texted him.
I saw your story.
I'm like, does anyone want to come for a run? I will pick you up. And I think that's being a leader. That's being that person that really pushes everyone else. And that's breaking that chain of bad habits that we all have, that I also have.
And you work together through it.
Exactly. So that's nice.
Did you guys do the Rocky stairs?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Actually, we did, bro.
Yeah.
We did.
That's
yeah.
tough.
That was nice. It was a nice run. It was a good morning, very productive. A Sunday. It was raining, but who cares?
And a friend that would say yes to that.
Yeah. So you said what?
It's more fun in the rain.
Yeah. I mean, you feel heavy, bro. You feel heavy, but yeah, it was good. It was good, bro. I liked it a lot. So it's like it went from let's go to this place to get drunk and party to let's go for a run. So it's a big change. I love them. I do think friends. I mean, you pick them. It's not like family. You're born. You have your family. Right. So you pick your friends. You pick who you surround yourself with, and
you choose that almost.
It's up to you. And like I was saying earlier, why not you? Why can't it be us? Why can't we be the leaders? Why can't we be the ones that break those curses?
And it never comes down to, never. I want to underline that somebody's a bad person, that's why you're not friends with them, or vice versa.
No,
it's just your standards, your understandings, your perspectives on things.
They grow.
Exactly. Yeah. It just goes different path.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine. That's just what happens. It's, even with our friend group and stuff, it started like relatively big friend group, just kind of slowly starting to slim down to look at us. Now it's just normal. Literally 4 of us in the room, like doing the same work. Not everybody will come on the same path with you. And it's like those friends outside of our podcast and our group are doing good in their own thing. They're pursuing their thing. It's just that our perspectives and understandings of things just parted ways.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? And that's just what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, still, the real ones stick till the end, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
The good times, the bad times, even if they don't have anything to do with your business or your whatever you're pursuing, they're there in the bad times. They're in the good times. And usually, the bad times are the ones that
where
you really
where you really prove them. Yeah,
exactly.
Really see if they really there or not. Yeah, it's crazy. I do think everyone should really check their friends though. Check, take yourself, see what you really
kind of test them in a healthy way.
Not even test them. You don't have to test them, but just
because look, it's so anything's a test.
For example, the way I go about it now is like if a friend asks me for an advice, I give them my most honest answer with, with all the love I can give as well and real truth. But I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna advise you wrong like at any time. I'm sorry. Like if you were looking for me to be your way out and be like, I can go and do all this dumb stuff, I'm not gonna be the one to do that. Right. So that's what I mean. Like by you gotta break that chain of things that are not good for you. For sure,
it's just not doing anybody a favor. Dude. Somebody doing a bad habit, and you tell them, "Hey, dude, it's so." Especially with men, bro, you gotta be straight up. It's like, yo, you're messing up in life. You're a man. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up. It hurts.
Bro. It's manhood.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Because in order for you to grow,
it's gotta sting. It's gotta sink in a little bit.
And us men, dude, we're straightforward. We're simple.
Yeah, it's brotherhood.
Say how it is,
it's really brotherhood. And I love that. I have some of them. I do. For example, my boy Chris, he keeps me in check. Yeah. Every time he's like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you waking up so late today? It can be a random Sunday where I'm off, and he's like, "Why are you waking up so late?" And I'm like, "Bro, it was my day off. Calm down, bro." He's like, "Okay, take a little break, this and that," and I'm like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah, you gotta respect that,
And I respect that. I actually like it. I think it's great the way he checks me, and I do the same. I am
keeping each other accountable.
Yeah, and then
How is he doing? Does he still play soccer?
He plays here and there. The same thing. Reality hits, bro. Reality.
Did he go to college? Plays there? Or?
He played for college for a little while. Yeah, he played in Jersey for a little while. Okay. Yeah. He's doing good though. He's doing good. He's trying to start his own business, so he's taking the little entrepreneur.
What kind of business?
And then this is again back to. It's a good example. He posted something. It's construction. So he posted something the other night. I called him right away. I'm like, I need you to take that off. Now he's like, why? I'm like, it sucks. I'll help you do the post because I'm good with content. Yeah. So I'm like, don't take it in a bad way. It sucks. Take it off right now, and we'll work on one this week. And that's where I'm going after. So it's like those things. To me, they're very important. They keep you. They keep you together and being honest. Like I was just being honest with them. If nobody, it looked like a scam. That's why I'm like, bro, take it off right now. Yeah. It looks like you're about to scam me for my money right now with a Google picture of a construction site.
Sometimes it's not what you say. It's how you say it.
And I just love the way
he accepted that, right?
Yeah, he was like, love you, bro. Thank you. We'll do it. And I'm like,
because they understand that it comes from a good heart and that you're actually
with the best interest.
Exactly.
The best interest. I'm just trying to help.
Because I feel like most people would scroll through that and be like, whatever, he did
they would just like it, and that's fake. I don't like that. I can't have that. I just can't have that. Like if I did a bad video, right, I would want you guys to tell me, yo, this wasn't this. I didn't really feel this. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take that.
I'm the same way.
Over just
I would rather have
like the video and keep scrolling. Like, come on now. I get it, social media, but I'm trying to attract people here, right? So it's like.
Even with my detailing page, when I was showing you the stuff that I was doing, you told me straight up, this is what you should fix up. When somebody goes on your page and they just see it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and I sent you guys examples.
It's not eye-catching. You would send examples, videos. You would send me, like, this is the attachment you can put on for the POV and all this kind of stuff. So
the ring lights, the hacks of what also here you guys could improve in. Yeah, I'm pretty honest with that. I don't like to hold back anything. Bro. Yeah, I don't like to hold back, especially if I care. If I think that there's more potential to it, I'm like, why not go all the way in and just say it with my chest and just get it over with. It's again, it's for it's
That's
with
just
the
the
best
best.
interest. And I'm not saying it in a bad way at all.
For sure. Yeah.
Have you ever told
Keep up
your
the good
friend
work.
that and then they took it in a bad way where they literally stopped talking to you or stopped being friends with you?
Yeah, bro, many times because I was pretty. I'm still working on it. I'm not saying I'm the best with words, but
Maybe you came out a little harsh that way.
yeah, I do.
Dude, we
come
all
a
do.
little-
We
I
all
do
do.
come a little hard. Like I come right at your neck. I'm so sorry, but I'm like, yo, you suck at this. Blah blah. I cursed him out. Like, bro, like what the are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Or if I see that you have like a lot of potential, and I've actually talked to him before as an example, and he knows and he's aware. But I've said, yo, like, why are you not doing content? You're going to the gym. You might as well just fucking do it.
Yeah, bro.
You might
get a
as well-
tripod. That's the next step.
You might as well like
Do that,
it's
try it.
it's
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah,
you guys
you
want to
do.
say that?
How you doing, guys?
Yo, Ali.
I do got a tripod, but it just, I don't know.
So-
I just be too scared when I just take it out to the gym. It just,
Yeah.
like, people just
I feel you,
watch
bro.
me.
You just
Yeah.
have to break that barrier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a wall right in front of me, and I just want to take
Dude,
it
go
out.
to the times where there's not a lot of people, or just go in a place where you just set up the camera, right? And slowly get out of the comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like going to a gym where there's not a lot of people
So-
on the days where it's not busy, you get comfortable with setting up a camera, just kind of knowing how it works. And then with people around you, it's not going to be that difficult. If you just jump straight to gym being packed and you having to take out your tripod, being that one guy there who records himself,
slow.
It's
yeah,
hard.
Yeah,
So you
I
gotta
get
go
it. I get
with
it.
the
Bro,
easy steps,
I put
right?
my tripod in the street, but for example, an advice that I can give him right now, for example, is the way I hate my voice. Like for example, right now I'm a
When you
little,
hear yourself?
I'm a little,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a little
can.
doubtful about how I'm gonna sound like, if I'm gonna sound like a fucking bitch or something. But
never.
but then but then I was like, you know what, I gotta break that. So I went to Best Buy and I bought an expensive mic. I bought a $100 mic, which to me is expensive. You know, it's just for my phone.
Right.
And I
Oh,
said,
yeah, one of those little
yeah,
ones?
and I said, there's no way I spent $100 on a mic and I'm not gonna use the damn mic. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm forcing myself to.
Right.
You know, and
You're putting yourself in situations like that.
Same when I was in the gym, when I was actually about to take that route at one point in life where I wanted to do videos like that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them you were
And
making.
yeah, and then I was like, and I used to just take the tripod, take my phone, put it far as hell, and just record, and just hit the record button, and just act like I'm working out. You know, not
It's
act, but
practice
like
too, yeah.
just work
Acting
out.
like it's natural.
Yeah, acting like nothing's recording me. I'll just be there. So you're just forcing yourself to do those things.
Then we come to talking on camera too. Like you're not gonna be good the first time you record yourself on
I
camera
remember when we
at
first
all.
did it. Oh my days.
My first
so hard.
Speaking, like working out, it's just gonna be like weird.
my first YouTube video, I had a really hard time doing that. I was too shy. I didn't feel confident.
Oh,
And
my friends are gonna see this.
Everyone's
This person's gonna see it.
like, "Hey, you got the looks, you got this. You should use it to your advantage." And everyone tells me that constantly. And I'm actually gonna start doing the consultation videos where how long did you drive, blah blah blah.
Oh, dude, yo, that would be fire,
So I'm gonna
bro.
start doing those. I just gotta gear up on some things. But when I was doing my first YouTube video, my first and only as well, that I've been editing. Bro, I was scared. It took so many tries. I got frustrated. Someone helped me out, but I was frustrated, bro. I was like, bro, I can't do this. Like this,
Because you know in the back of your mind that it's recording,
and the thing is, I had to talk to the camera. So I'm like, I look at the camera, I talk or I laugh, and I go back and check, and I'm like, it's not good. It's just not good.
I thought you were talking about when they go and cut the client's hair and the camera's set up and they're having a conversation with them.
That too, yeah. So, like I said, on YouTube,
'Cause those are very entertaining,
on YouTube,
bro.
Yeah, those are great. So I'm gonna start doing those. I'm not scared of doing them at all.
You're right.
I'm actually real cool with them now, because I've been practicing.
Yeah.
You know, behind everything that.
Oh,
I've
you're
been
talking
doing.
about you like.
But I was talking about
okay.
me speaking to the camera. Like I have, for example, a YouTube video where
Right.
I'm talking to the camera. You can tell I'm
Yeah.
nervous. You can tell I'm nervous.
I don't know. I haven't seen.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, you're like, I can tell he's a little iffy.
Dude,
I
I'm
can tell
telling
he's
you,
a
when you
little-
go back to our first podcast, bro, You could tell.
And it's crazy.
We look like we're held
It's
hostage.
crazy, bro. Yeah, it's like you don't even know. It's
You're like
do you put your
uncomfortable,
hands
so
on the
tense.
table or not? Like, what do I?
Yeah.
When we first did the first episode, I remember we had to introduce ourselves, and I was so nervous that I forgot everything. So all I said was, "Hi, my name is Georgie." That's all I said.
That was all you
Because
said.
that's how nervous I was, dude. I couldn't say anything else. So we like to try.
It's
to
like
tries, but
you know when
it was
you're in
just
school
hard.
and they tell you
It was
introduce
like awkward
yourself.
for me. I was never good at that.
For the
I
whole
was
class.
like,
I never wanted to do that
I
stuff.
didn't even speak English, and they were asking me that. I'm
You
like,
didn't know
damn,
English? I'm sorry,
I'm like,
but-
excuse me, nah.
Like
No, I
even
never
this-
liked those stuff though in the beginning.
Even
when
this
we had
new
to-
setup, I'm still trying to like get like used to it almost because like we used to sit in like a couch and it was like
Oh, yeah.
super
I
comfortable.
remember, yeah.
In our friend's house,
So it's like-
we sit there every week like laid back. It's like comfy, but
You don't
this
know
is
if you
just
should
like
sit
now this is
straight.
more professional.
I,
We gotta
I was
be, like-
actually today watching those videos of you guys.
You
I
saw
was
'em?
watching the old. I was
The old
driving.
ones?
I had them on the side, and I was like,
Doing your research.
I was like,
That's good, man.
yeah, of course. So I was.
How far back did you watch?
I was back. I was back.
Episode like you know what episode?
Like one of those
I
dark
remember
rooms,
what
right?
episode. I probably have it on my phone right now playing.
Is it the very dark room? Because those are very.
No. I didn't get that far.
The first 20 episodes are
I do
cursed.
remember them,
And you did tell us about it too.
and I did tell you guys about it.
You're like, where are you guys at?
But
It's super
yeah.
dark.
And but then it was the ones on the couch. The ones on the couch.
Yeah.
The new room, yeah.
Yeah.
Before this.
This setup's definitely like makes me feel like I'm still kind of getting used to it, like comfortable wise, because it's like it feels professional, right? It just feels like
that's great.
we
It's
invested
very
in this whole
comfortable.
setup. It's just
Setting
like
up,
we're gonna put in more work now
I
because
just
of
showed
that.
him a good website where you guys are gonna just. I know y'all gonna like it.
Yeah,
I know
what
y'all
was
like
it?
it a lot. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, so-
It's an auction where you get stuff a little bit cheaper.
yeah.
Okay, like okay,
Yeah. Like
like
you
a Facebook
literally.
Marketplace, something like that, or
Not really. They're brand new.
eBay?
They're like everything's brand new.
But
so
cheaper.
it's like a donation from Amazon type thing.
oh, okay,
so
nice.
So like Amazon donates to those places. For example, I got a desk, right, and it goes up and down. You know those ones, the standing ones.
You know,
It cost me like $50, bro. And then it's the same brand as my friends, and I'm like, how much you pay for it? He's like $250. I'm like,
Guess what? I got
I didn't even want to tell him because he would have been mad. I'm like,
Wow. Yeah.
How do people like bet on it? Is it a live
So
thing
you just
ever, or
yeah,
just
you bid every day new items, and then you just bid on
just
it.
kind of see how far?
Yeah,
it will- okay.
and then again, the hustler in me sometimes gets me, and I'm like, yo, I buy something, I sell it.
Oh.
Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't like to stay behind those things. I feel like I take advantage of every situation that comes by.
That is an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah,
you know? Like
that-
when
exactly,
you really
yeah,
have the
just-
mindset to, okay, I can buy this cheap.
Yeah,
and
I'm
actually sell
telling
it
you,
because
when I
people
used
want
to
it.
sell the fake shoes, I used to go to Dominican barbershops. Those were my spot. I knew those guys were weak for shoes. I used to pull up for my
it's real or
haircut,
fake, right?
and I used to bring a bag with full of shoes that I had bought, and I used to be like, yo, like who wants some shoes? And they're like, hey, over here. And I'm like, hey. Then just sell them just like that.
You seen one of those guys that would sell the candies in like
Bro,
5th grade in the bus?
I used to sell vapes back in like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
it was
bruh,
just
this
like
is-
that's when he was getting popular. So people
That's when it was getting popular. So I had someone that was like older. So I'm like, yo, can you buy this for me? I got someone that's gonna buy it. Blah blah blah. And I used to sell it in the bathroom. That was pretty funny.
That is really the.
And I
only-
never even liked vapes. I never smoked. I don't really smoke them at all or anything. But it was like,
it was just a mindset.
I
of,
used,
like,
I used to
selling
just sell
something,
them.
yeah.
I'm like, yo,
Did it ever make you feel guilty selling fake shoes to somebody that thought
they
it
knew.
was real?
They were
They
aware
knew.
of it. Yeah,
Oh, they were
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I had to be honest with them. They didn't care. They did not care. They're like, yeah, I
Dude,
like it.
I've even like come across websites that people also talk about that sometimes it's the stitches
Yeah,
that just
sometimes
makes the
it's the
difference.
same
But the
factory that
price
makes
drops
it.
so much, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like only
You-
professionals.
I think
would
if
notice
you
that.
can sell it, you can go for it. Like it's like the same thing with haircuts. Like I tell people, I'm like, I ask this question a lot. I'm like, if you were in my position and you could charge $60 for a haircut, would you charge $60 for a haircut? Like it's pretty obvious. Like if you could charge that, you're gonna charge that. If they're gonna pay you, you're gonna charge it.
And you know what's another thing? You can charge somebody $60, but if they don't think that $60 was worth it, they're just not gonna come back anymore.
Yeah, they're just
right?
not your client.
So at the end of the day, money on the side. Well, money will come in when people see the quality with
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
if
100%.
somebody charges 60, but then the work isn't there, they just won't come back, and people will then understand that. Okay,
people come.
I
and go.
really need to step up
People
my game
go
if I
get
charge
messed
more.
up, come back. It's a whole
life.
It's a whole loop. It's so funny. damn.
dude.
I'm like, damn, they really did mess you up. He's like, yeah, bro. I should have came back. Like, well, yeah, I mean, you should have. Now I gotta fix it. I gotta work with this.
Or people leaving because it's like, yo, you kind of charge too much. I can't afford it. They come back because they realize that I couldn't get the same quality workout.
Yeah. Like,
and that's why keeping your price firm is.
And that's why being
good.
consistent gets you. That's what gets you. Like, if you can do the best haircut, let's say you come to me, right, and I give you the best haircut you've had, better than your current barber. And you're like, damn, like, he just did it with one cut. My current barber been cutting me for years, and he can't even aim it that well. Yeah. So it's like, you're going to come back. You got to come back. It's
just exactly.
Yeah, like, it's just that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, it's also looks, too. I feel like as a barber, like, you have almost, like, control over how this person looks.
Yeah.
People will pay to look good, right? It's all about status and the self-esteem itself.
Confidence.
Yeah, confidence.
Yeah. Bro, it gives you a crazy confidence getting a haircut.
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys know it. I know you guys.
For sure.
Of course, yeah.
We don't come back from the best mark you want.
Men's hair is his.
Dude, I gotta check out your barbershop,
men's
bro.
hair, men's hair is makeup. Is men's makeup.
Yeah, I gotta sign up for a cut someday.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it works.
Is the studio like because my barber, like, what he doesn't really have like a shop. It's like this place. It doesn't.
You said it's not official, right?
Yeah, he's not official. He doesn't even have an address. It's just like you show up to this like
I'm always surprised when people
show up like a drug deal, bro.
No, you show up to this like rented space. And it's a studio. It's almost like double the size of this.
Okay.
There's just two guys in there. That's it.
That's nice.
And they just run it all day long. Boom, boom. They have some TV on. They got their own like little sections.
I actually like that. I like
and
the
it's
way
like
that
super
sounds.
chill. It's
If
not
they're
called
not official, how do
anything.
they get clients? Did you ever ask them that?
I think it's word of mouth most of the
Okay.
time. Word of mouth. They don't really do
Yours
like any
was
online.
really
They're
good.
very like low
in
key.
the house.
Yeah.
It was really comfortable.
It was
I liked
good.
the environment
I
there.
liked
You
it,
still
but
have
it
it, right?
got no. I
He
like I
moved
said,
everything.
I bought my mom back the living room set.
Okay.
So I had to.
Yeah.
She was like, "Yo, when is that gonna happen?" I'm like,
Because I remember
"Yeah,
you
you're
were
right."
telling me that sometimes when the clients wouldn't want to drive that far or they wanted early in the morning,
I would keep.
book
Yeah, I
them
would.
in there.
Yeah, I would book them there on Sundays. I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. I think I can attract new clients, and that's the way you should go about it. Like, I'm sorry,
Because it
if
was
you
enough.
can't-
So now you have to give
I'm
that
sorry,
to your
not
mom.
even enough. It's just
Somebody
about,
has to be willing to drive extra 15 minutes for a haircut.
if
like,
you have the power
really,
to
if you
make and make content, right, you're gonna attract more clients, and eventually you're gonna get them back. So I was like, I'm gonna sell everything, and I'm gonna just put that full effort into my content and into the new studio and posting and getting people to go there.
Yeah.
Because it was uncomfortable for me. I was just killing myself. I'm like, damn, I'm cutting here. Now I gotta go there and cut again. Like, nah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Good work, bro. Keep it up. Thank you for coming on again. It was a pleasure, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Again, it's his first time.
Well,
Yeah, it was my first time.
Oh, well, never mind.
Again,
What
meaning
I'm
like
saying.
thank you again. Yeah. We have 3 questions.
No, but we got to do this first.
Oh yeah, we can do this. So this is a Christian culture. It's a game of Christian conversations. What we're gonna be doing now is interpretation. So we're just gonna take out a random card and kind of interpret
Like a
on
verse?
what we think. No, it's just.
Okay.
Do you think Jesus has a sense of humor and why? It's an interpretation
start.
question.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he spoke in parables, right? He was joking. I swear to God, he was like
I don't
joking
know
in
if
the
he was
Bible.
like joking in parables, but he was definitely joking with people.
He
For sure.
definitely has to have humor, bro. He's the one who created that shit.
Yeah, right. He created humor.
Yeah, he did.
Dude.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
Yeah.
There was times, yeah, when people would be gathering around and stuff. I mean, just always talking serious and stuff. You also see this in Chosen. Chosen is a TV show where it shows, you know, the lifestyle of Jesus and what he did in his ministry and stuff. You see it a lot too, where he's actually very funny and like joking with people, because humor is a very, very good way to connect with people, very good way to bring positive energy into sometimes too serious
It
situations.
shows love. It shows love.
It does, yeah.
When you're too serious
Brings
about
joy.
things, yeah.
For sure. You want to get to three questions?
What do you think?
3 questions.
What do
Didn't
I
ask
think
him the question.
about this?
Yeah.
I think I want to know how to answer in like what way but I think he created that, like he said, he created that.
Questions, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So for every guest, we ask 3 questions, and then we have 1 question from the previous guest that they're going to ask you, and then you're going to ask a question for the next guest. You don't know the guest, though. So it's going to be like a question kind of like out of the blue. So the first question is, what is one thing you wish you knew earlier?
How to dig in within yourself. And I don't have the answer. I don't have the full answers to many of these things, but
we're still learning. We're students, right?
Yeah, so I'm still learning on how to do that.
How to look inward?
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Number 2, nice. If you had to give one piece of advice to the world, what would it be?
Take the risk. Take the risk.
Straight up.
Take the risk. There's no doubt in my mind you should take that risk. Whatever it is. I also think, real quick before we dip, if you have an idea and it's in your head and you don't make that happen, it will fly over to someone else. And then when you see that someone else doing it, then you're gonna be like, damn, I should have done that.
Yeah.
So regret's gonna hit, right?
And then regret's gonna hit, and you're gonna be like, damn, it was just a matter of taking the action or making the choice of doing it.
You might as well take the risk. Like,
yeah,
what's the point of being just safe your whole life, right?
What's the worst that can happen? You go back home, like
go back to 9 to 5.
Yeah, like
exactly. And
take the risk
because you don't. The only time you lose is by doing nothing about it and not trying. That is the only time you fail. Mm-hmm. Other than 100%. That, you learn. It's just what it comes down to.
So the last question is, what is the biggest issue we face as a society, and how can we work to solve it?
Ooh. I think. Can you repeat the question again?
What is the biggest issue we face as a society, and how can we work to solve it?
We try too much to get more. I think the key is a simple life. You know, there's no need to reach so high. There's no need to overcomplicate it. There's no need. You know, simple life. A life where you're okay with what you have and you're grateful every day.
Yeah,
that's really it, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm still learning and I'm young, and I ask my older clients this. I actually have great conversations with my older clients. Respectfully, I ask them, what do you think? What is this? What is that? They're 70, 75, 80.
Yeah.
And they tell me,
and their wisdom is different.
Exactly. They've experienced it. They went through the trenches. They went through the struggle. So it's like, they know, like, so they tell me, they're like, bro, like, keep it, don't go too crazy. Enjoy it. Take it one step at a time. One step, just one step at a time.
Yeah. I love that. I love that advice so much is because a lot of the times our human nature is greedy, very greedy.
Yeah.
To the point where we think we need so much, or no, we want so much, but in reality, we don't really need it.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't.
Like, yeah, it's good to have ambition about money.
And then we lose
Nothing is better than being financially free and not worrying about not having money. Especially when you have experience going through.
I mean, that's great, but I think health is wealth.
No. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I loved your advice, is because when people get into this mindset of more and more and more, what they lose sight on is what they have. Mm-hmm. And now chasing money takes away the time from the family.
Exactly,
and next thing you know, your parent isn't there anymore. And you would rather give up all the money to have that. So when you have it, why do you not appreciate it? So it's good to have ambitions. It's good to have big goals. It's good to be a competitor. It's good to be a driven person, but to never lose sight on present and things you're grateful for.
And
constantly
on your
be
purpose.
Grateful. And I love that about you. You're very humble, and you have that healthy mindset. Like, you're a driven person. You're motivated. You're gonna succeed, bro. I believe that.
Oh, 100%.
And the fact that you are already putting that in perspective and giving that advice of being grateful for what you have is amazing. So I really love that you shared that, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, I got one last question for you. This is from our previous guest. Mm-hmm. He said, if you were able to obtain your wildest dreams, and he emphasized wild, and everything you ever wanted, what would it look like?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So if you were able to obtain your wildest dreams, right, and everything you ever wanted, what would it look like?
It would look like a filled up Champions League final. A full stadium, but not because of the money, not because of anything else, just to bring joy to people, you know, like just I feel like damn, like scoring a goal and seeing everyone celebrate with you.
Which team would you play in Champions League final?
Barca, 100%.
What?
100%.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was a Barca fan.
No, he is a Barca fan.
Oh, because weren't you born in Madrid?
I was born in Madrid. I was born in Madrid, but I hate Madrid.
Because that's a big deal.
I hate Real Madrid.
Born in Madrid and being a Barca fan.
You don't like it because they're too good, or?
I don't know. The Barca you just realize who the better team is, and
that's a debatable topic. That's a controversial topic for that.
Yeah, this is going to create arguments.
Of course.
That's a great answer. I mean, and then next thing is your question for the next guest.
Very simple.
Anything.
Very simple.
Okay. Let's do it.
Are you doing the inner work? Are you loving yourself? Are you asking yourself, and are you reflecting? And what's your purpose?
That's like 4 questions.
That's
4 questions in
4 questions in one.
Ready? Yeah. Tie it like this. What is okay?
What is
how do you reflect?
What is your purpose?
What is your purpose? You want that?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think is your purpose?
Because that was a good question too. What do you do to reflect on your actions?
I'll keep those here too as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
It's a good question, man.
Yeah, thank you, Rios. Appreciate it, brother.
No, we want you to do quote of the day.
Yeah, the quote of the day. Shout out.
We have guests do the quote of the day. The top part.
Okay. From the outside looking in, it's hard to understand. From the inside looking out, it's hard to explain. That's nice.
Yeah, I love this. When I read this and Georgie put this on,
I like that.
That's hard.
How do you see that quote? Like, how would you explain that quote to someone? Like, how does it?
How does it speak to you?
Yeah, speak to you.
It's oof, bro. It's like I feel right now like I'm getting asked the question by a teacher.
Yeah. Dude, when I first read this,
no pressure. To see the whiteboard and all that.
It's really connected with your stories you told. I think that's how I see it. Because like they just see the outside, they just see like your work, but then like it's hard to explain
the results,
what you actually.
The results.
Exactly. It's hard to explain what you actually went through, because you know what I mean. So that's how it is for
the work behind closed doors and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the way people think about something that they just see, but they haven't really felt or anything.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, when you don't walk the path, it's and you know what's another thing too. When you try to explain to somebody what you want to do in life and how do you want to succeed and what you want to pursue, it's harder for them to understand it because they don't have that drive, they don't have that vision, they don't have that understanding. So you can, sometimes it's really almost impossible to explain to somebody how you're going to do things or what you're going to achieve when they, 1, don't even believe in you, and 2, have no idea about what it's like to be ambitious, what it's like to want something. Like with passion.
Like when you told your friends, like, dude, I want to start my own business. Some people probably laughed at you. They were like, dude, come on, it's never going to work. Or maybe they didn't tell you exactly, but they thought that themselves. Yeah, and now it's really hard for you to explain that. It's only in your head. It's so hard to explain.
The thought always probably went by their head or something. But I think as long as you have it clear.
But it's hard to explain.
As you know,
as long as you know
what you're made of in a way, just do it.
Because God only shows you that vision, not anybody else.
Yeah, without caring what anyone else thinks, you should just do it.
Yeah.
Then be confident in yourself. Don't depend on other people.
There's a beautiful thing that Steve Harvey said when he goes, God gave you that vision because it was meant for you. It wasn't meant for somebody else.
Yeah.
So
I actually
don't waste time.
Not long ago. Yeah, I seen that.
Don't waste time explaining to somebody what's in your vision because it's yours and it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Just pursue it. Shout out. Shout out goes on YouTube to Marley Chris 5250. This is our good friend Christian Ferrari. Shout out to you. Great episode, boys. I like the cuts in the beginning. Y'all are getting good. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. We're working on it.
That's the guy that asked the question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, thank you for coming on again, bro.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna have you on again.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure, and we learned a lot, and I hope that our audience learned a lot from Rios too. Check him out on Instagram, Rios Cuts.
Rios Cuts,
right?
yes, sir.
You can plug yourself if you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything that you want to tell the audience.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm everywhere. So
check him out. We're gonna put the links in the description.
Book an appointment. Kensington don't bite. Trust me. And the best barbers aren't in the hood. They are in the hood. I'll say that.
And I'll tell you guys,
best barbers are in the hood.
that,
that's
bro.
my credibility right there.
And I want to tell them that you guys are not going to regret it because I didn't.
You're not gonna regret it.
Yeah, you guys definitely have to go.
Not at all.
Definitely check him out. If you want a good cut, you want to look good, you want to be confident. This man,
bro, I want them to get buzz cut in summer, so maybe you got those
buzz
two
cut in
guys.
summer, bro.
Yo, I keep asking them, bro.
I got a big ass head. I ain't gonna look good.
I was gonna say you a no, but I was gonna say but yeah.
Maybe for that they got little heads.
We'll see. We'll see what we can do about it.
You can definitely work that.
Book a consultation.
Exactly. Step by step, right?
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Our closing statement is think big, grow big. All right?
Think big, grow big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Think big, grow big.
Peace.
Let's go.
Thank you, bro.